On your feet! Get them going!
Good afternoon. Oh, it's not even noon yet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller. And this does seem a little bit weird because I'm outside. I was just sitting inside and, man, I don't know, my eyes or something. I just felt like, uh, I need to go outside and just absorb some light. I don't know what it is. Um, oh, I know, it probably is because I got up like 2 hours ago and I just started working. So I've been like face front in the computer and got a drip of freaking sunlight, and it just flexing again. Mike is flexing again with the sun. You son of a. Um. Well, I mean, look, it's very expensive to live in San Diego, and if you don't take advantage of the fact that you can just go sit out on your deck on a December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, and just absorb some nice, wonderful sunlight as a very loud airplane flies above. Airplane? Helicopter. Great. We have had no sun for almost 2 weeks here. Wow. Should move. What's up, Wrangler? What's up, Devil's Air? What's up, Melissa? Amy? Chuck? Almost missed it. Oh my goodness. Ollie Pong, what's up? Nice sunny day indeed. I mean, San Diego. Devil's Air ain't feeling too good, feeling under the weather, so not typing much and pray for my swift recovery. Very headache. Oh, the worst. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand. I like can't even function. If I have a headache, I just I take some Excedrin and I just crawl back into bed because I literally like I can't function. I'm a big old puss when it comes to headaches. All right, let's. Oh no, what happened? Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. So what's going on? What's going on, everybody? How was your weekend? This yesterday was Isaac's 18th birthday. He is now a man grown, and doesn't seem any older than he was the day before. But he's an adult now, so he can no longer beat up other teenagers. Um, and hey, what's up, Arlene? Nice to see you. Uh, just stopped for a cold drink. About to read some comics in the car and enjoy some fresh air. Amen. Happy birthday to Isaac. Yes. And so, yeah, we had a big party for him on Saturday. We usually do, game night or fishing on Saturdays. So we just turned it into a big old hoopla. Happy birthday, Isaac. Happy birthday, Isaac. Yes, yes, yes. Um, I made a brisket. I made a big old brisket, but we had like 20 people over. So that whole thing got ate up. Um, yeah, and then we just had, Elijah came over, obviously, and then they did a game night with the kids taking lead. It is hard to have game night with 20 people, I'll tell you what. But somehow they managed, and oh, that's trippy. Like my neighbor's fruit just all got ripe all of a sudden. Neighbor fruit. Just kidding. Um, yeah, and then yesterday we went shooting. I haven't been shooting in forever. And so I took the boys. Elijah got a new 1911. I dusted off the old 380 automatic and the 22 Magnum, and we went out and we did some shooting at the gun range. And that was a lot of fun. Man, kids just really loved it. And you know what? Pretty good shots. The Miller gang, all pretty good shots. So I don't think there will be any problem if somebody breaks into the house that we take care of that problem. What's funny is in my 22 Magnum, I usually load the first round with its its birdshot. It's a birdshot round. The tip is like bunch of just like, oh, I don't even know how many. It must be 100 or more teeny tiny little like 1 millimeter beads, metal beads, and and Micah took a shot, used that round, and his target, like it was probably 20 feet away, maybe 30 feet away. The entire target was peppered with his bird shot. That was crazy. I was like, wow, I could probably shoot a bird with that. But no, I have it as the first cartridge. Well, I don't now, but I used to have it as the first cartridge in my revolver, so that if I have to shoot somebody, I can shoot them with something that's just going to hurt them very badly first, and then that's my warning shot. My warning shot won't be in the air. It'll be like, if you're not wearing body armor, you're gonna hurt from this. Oh my gosh, it would probably tear their eyes off or one shot in the face. Just thought about that. Maybe not permanent damage, just little pinpricks all the way everywhere, like a face full of pinpricks. Ah, just like a bunch of needles going into her face at once. At however fast bullets travel. DJ says can't stay, but thought I'd say hi. What's up? Gotta do some prep for Christmas. God bless. God bless you too. Da, 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 da. So yeah, it was fun. Good weekend. Good weekend. And then came back to some ridiculous Twitter nonsense. There's a gal on Twitter who I don't want to get into specifics, but look, I'm very you guys know how acquainted I am with grief. Um, you know, baby, nephew, dad, more friends than I could shake a stick at, all have passed away. And at some point in everyone's life, they are very familiar with grief. And when you make that grief your identity, it's very debilitating, right? Very debilitating. And it's mentally, I mean, I'm not going to say it makes you mentally ill, but it makes you mentally debilitated, I guess is the best word. Um, you have to be able to deal with grief, health in some sort of healthy way. I know how hard it. My sister-in-law, man, she couldn't do anything. She was. I'm not gonna say she was worthless, but she was like she wouldn't even wear anything besides sweats for like 5 years or something. It was a long time. Um, so I get it, but it's you can't let your grief define the rest of your life, because we all deal with it eventually, one way or the other. Um, it's been many different ways for me, uh, you know, and I get it because I've gone through it with my nephew, but it's like losing a baby isn't the same thing. I mean, it feels like it at the time, but it's like not the same thing as like my nephew was 14, and that was, I mean, your entire world gets turned upside down, and I don't just mean like in some metaphorical way. It's like you're like right when I heard that Cruz died, it was like vertigo or something where like I collapsed because I literally like couldn't tell which way was up and down. It was like everything was just, my mind was Like somebody just put my brain in a blender and just I but you cannot live in that state. You can't. Uh, you know, when you're grieving somebody, I mean, for like a year, I mean, you'll just start crying for like random reasons. Like things that you'll watch some movie that you've watched 1,000 times and like and you'll just be bawling uh because because of something even subconsciously about the story. Or you know what it does, I think it like when something really like that close to you happens, it like resets your emotional trigger level back to maybe like before before life has given you armor, grief armor. But you can't live like that forever. If everybody lived like that forever, every time, then at some point in everyone's life, they would just become emotionally, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I think I've had enough sun. Oh, that felt good. Oh man, I feel refreshed. The sun, the sun. All right, I'm gonna mute as I walk into the house.
So I can switch over here, and then I will. Oh, I almost hit the end button. How do I leave? Oh, let me kick my remote. How do I just leave? I don't want to hit end. There, I just backed out of it. Woo! Oh, golly, what a difference that makes. Holy cow. What a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, sunlight therapy is like a true thing. Like, wow. So, let's see. What are you guys referring to in here? All right, Tina says, Mike, I just got a Smith & Wesson 9mm. I hadn't shot in decades, but it's still good aim when I was at the range a couple of weeks ago. Very nice. Yeah, the 380, my son was asking what the 380 was. So the 380, it is a 9mm, but it only has 380 grains in it, so it's a shorter cartridge. Not as powerful. That's why I think they always come in hollow points. Because they got to do the stopping power comes from the mushroom of the point. But yeah, tricky little gun too. I'm not tricky, but it's like it's so small, and it fits like it's like the Walther PPK. It's very much like that. And then the kick is all right here in the soft of your hand, or this part of your hand, right? So the kick's all right there, and actually my Elijah was the first to notice it. He's like, that hurts. You shoot it so much it starts to hurt right there. And then you hold the revolver, and the kick is here in the meat of your thumb. So like you get to absorb it because of the shape of the handle curves like this, and so the kick comes right here, and it's like so much more comfortable to shoot. Of course, Elijah was shooting in 1911, which is a 45, and much bigger kick, but it's a much bigger handle too. So I think like the percussion like measures out through the whole back of your palm, maybe. I don't know. It's interesting that when you have to think about these things when you're designing guns, right? You don't want to, because the handle on the, you don't need that. Amy says, true, at some point you have to start letting the grief go. Yeah, grief has to be a memory, not a defining attribute of your daily life. You've gotta. Devil's Irish says, my mom has MS symptoms. Not all three get help, but she can't do much or she's exhausted. Devil's Air, I'm not going to tell you what to do here, but I've heard people say they were cured of MS with carnivore diet. So maybe go do some research. Go look up carnivore diet MS on YouTube and watch some testimonies. See what happens, and maybe your mom can alleviate her symptoms. My butt hurts, says Herman. Oh, Jeff. Is it? Well, I guess, yeah, your hip. I don't know what entails the hip replacement, but yeah, that is where your gluteus maximus attaches to. So, sorry to hear about your butt, Jeff. Oh, sorry about that. I hope you feel better. Bankrupt. What? Sun Wukong. Hey? What? Mike's avatar looks happy. Okay. Echo, echo, echo. That's pretty cool echo. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Devil's Air says 9mm in mini mirror is the word system, not the imperial. So you still use the original system of the UK. The makes of America, even though the Dutch has New York first. Brother, I don't know what you just said. It seemed like English. So anyway, yeah. I would just implore. I don't know. I don't want to make an issue out of it on my show. It's just something that, man, I get it. Grief is a son of a gun, right? Grief is, it's life's roller coaster. But you got to get off the roller coaster and look at it in the rearview mirror. It's got to get smaller. You have to diminish it, or I mean, honestly, it's like it'll diminish on its own. After my dad died, yeah, I would cry, and that's the funny thing is, like, I did not have the greatest relationship with my dad. And after he died, like, for a year, and I think that's why they make widows wear black for a year. Oh, they don't make them, but they used to, I think. But yeah, like for a year, I would just cry randomly. I'm sure everyone here has lost somebody that close to them. Yeah, losing my nephew was even harder than losing my dad because my dad was at least old. I mean, he wasn't that old. Jeez, he wasn't that old. He wasn't even 10 years older than I am now. That's a scary thought. No, I guess he was about 10 years older than I am now. Shoot. I got a decade left, guys. A decade left to make a difference in this world. But yeah, my nephew was only 14, so that was just out of the blue, a crazy, just random accident, and that maybe that's why it was so. It was harder than my dad because it was just out of the blue. It's like my dad was at least in the hospital for a couple days. We kind of mind prepped ourselves and all that stuff. Obviously losing the baby up until that point in my life, but losing the baby, we had a miscarriage after. It wasn't like a 2-week miscarriage. Oh, we just found out we were. Yeah, we had a miscarriage, and that was the hardest grief I had ever been to up until that point in my life. That was something else. And then my dad, and then my nephew. And it's the funny thing about my friends. I have had more friends die by the time I was like 25. I'd met people like who were in their 30s and none of their friends had ever died. And I'm like, are you serious? And I'd be just like counting off all the friends that I had that died from motorcycle accidents, ATV accidents, another motorcycle accident, car accident, drug overdose, suicide. I mean, I could probably think of more, but just those are the early ones. That was all. Just those 7 was by the time I was like 20, 23. I've had I don't honestly I just stopped counting. I mean, I've had now that I'm in my 50s, I've had friends die from vaccines and well, that's not friend, that's family. One friend did die, or my family member did die of COVID. Um, several people from just being. Honestly, it really did accelerate after COVID, didn't it? With people getting vaccinated, just people like. So yeah, this past 5 years, yeah, it's been very, very a lot of grief to deal with. That's life. I hate to tell it to anyone, especially a mother who's lost their daughter, a child. But I've been there. Grief is everywhere for everyone. You can't let it be the defining factor of your life. And no, I'm not saying get over it. That's not my point. But if you're doing things that are feeding into, it's like, who are you? I'm a grieving widow. Who are you? I lost my father. No, that is not who you are. That is something that happened to someone you love. You cannot let it define you. Amen. So, friend has died, but I remember my great granddad lying up like a doll before the graves. Oh yeah, my mother-in-law. Jeez, that one was rough. That one was rough. I don't even talk about that one. Plus, I'm so pissed about it because of the hospital. Okay, I'll just tell it really quick. I don't want to dwell on this. So my mother-in-law was at my house, and then she drove home to Brawley. I lived when at the time I lived 5 minutes from a really good hospital here in San Diego. She drove home to Brawley, 2 hours away, and then she had a heart attack. And then and she lived 2 minutes from the hospital in Brawley. But the hospital in Brawley, they'd spent all their money on birthing equipment because they live in a very an almost exclusively Mexican area. And Mexicans are Catholic and they have a lot of babies. So the hospital spent all their money on birthing facility stuff. So they did not have a freaking stent machine. And I'm like telling my wife as we're driving to Brawley, I'm like, your mom's going to be fine. She's 2 minutes from the hospital. They're going to put a stent in her and we'll get there and she'll be fine. They didn't have a freaking stent machine at this hospital. So they just kept having to revive her. She'd have another heart attack. She'd revive her. She'd have another. It's like 7 hours there before they life flight her to the hospital that's next to my house. If she had and I blame the Olympics. She wanted to get home to watch the Olympics. Screw the Olympics. Screw Pioneer Hospital. Anyways, you would stop, Mike. A decade left. LOL. Yeah, healthy as a horse. My guess you'll be around a long time. Would you stop, Mike? I'm not a crier. All these problems says, but when I lost my grandpa, it was continuous weird feelings. Showers are great for crying. I'm almost 24 at the end of the month. Hint: my birthday is in a Friday next year. Well, hint, hint. All my close friends and most of my family have all passed. I've lost the most within the last 5 years. That's too bad, Tina. Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? And just the older you get, the faster they drop. My mom's 83. Actually, that's weird. My mom's 83. Actually, my mom doesn't have a lot of close friends. My mom doesn't really like people. But yeah, it's funny watching like her younger sisters being in worse health than she is, even though they're in Japan. And if you're in Japan, you should be in better health. But somehow or another, she's here in America, and she's in better health than like I think aside from her brother, she's in better health than all our other siblings. Yeah. Yeah, only within the last 5 years have people I used to go to school with died. I had a friend, Andy, but he was a big, fat Samoan dude. Oh, no, not Andy. Andy was his brother. It was Sean. Oh, man. Sean was my age. Andy's actually older. That just, oh, man. When I heard he passed away, I was all right. So, friends died, but I remember my grandparents. Oh, yeah. No, friends, let me tell you about a man named Job. Poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. I just found a couple months ago someone I went to school with had died. I only know because I talked to my best friend who used to date her back in high school. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my best friend towards the end of high school, my best friend Angelica de la Mancha. I love that. Such an awesome name. I had two friends, two just beautiful, beautiful girls. Angie was like my best friend. Suzanne I'd known since middle school. Funny thing. Funny little, I wouldn't call her an ugly duckling, but just kind of a frumpy little thing in middle school. By the time she graduates high school, she could have been a supermodel. Just amazing, beautiful, and such a sweetheart. And both of them, within the span, I think, of a year, and similar situations. Suzanne was in the car with her fiance, and they were driving to Vegas, and he was in an old Trans Am or IRA. No, not a Trans Am. It'd be a newer car because it had a airbag in the driver's seat. He falls asleep and drives into oncoming traffic. Driver's seat has an airbag. He survives. Suzanne's gone. And then my old best friend Angie, she, similar situation. She's for some reason she's with her boyfriend in South Carolina. I don't even know. I never even got the answer to why that was the case. But rainy night, he makes a U-turn without. I don't know how this happens. He makes a U-turn and a truck strikes her side of the car. He survives. These were both, but like I was before I was 23, so I was like, this is getting really maudlin. But yeah, grief is a son of a bee. So just move on. You know, you put it there, you don't forget about it. You still love and you still miss those people. But you cannot let it define the rest of your life. You cannot make that your identity. I don't know, I just keep saying it again. I said that before this anecdote started. Less anyone say I was being heartless. Oh. No, hey. It is what it is. Mom's 84, dad's 83. She's in a nursing facility. My dad has onset of dementia. It's kind of overwhelming. Can I ask you what your diet, what your dad's diet was like? Because similar things happening with my step-in-law right now, and I know her diet is not. She's again trying to be like, you know, vegetarians and fish and no cholesterol, no cholesterol. Meanwhile, she's like, she didn't remember the week later that she was at our daughter's wedding. She's like, when's Eden getting married? Really? The brain's made of cholesterol, guys. If you starve it of cholesterol, you're starving your brain and it will collapse. It's just part of life. We're all on our way out eventually. At least we here have got amen. Camaro. Maybe it was a Camaro. I'm trying to remember. It was one of those kinds of American muscle cars. IROC, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. All right. Good night, Devil's Air. Bye. Bet they're still cheering you on from above, even still. I'm like, well, that's what I hope. That's my, you know, in no small part, that's why I hope that Mormons are saved. Because as sweet and amazing person as Suzanne was, she was raised Mormon, and so I'm very much hoping God makes that allowance for being raised in the ignorance of a cult. Welcome to Depression Power Hour with your host, Macabre Mike. My dad's diet, not too good. Lots of fast food. He should know better, but I don't think he cares. I love eggs and red meat. My brain loves me. There you go. All right, you know what? Let's get to the Bible du jour, which is Exodus chapter 19. Yeah, man, I don't want to be a mopey dope. See, even just talking, just dwelling on it, it'll bring you down, right? So imagine making it so much of your identity that it's your shield. What's your shield for being a angry, lashing out type person? Is like, I'll hold up the shield of my grief. I can't. Nice Bible hour. Right. Don't forget, bacon makes everything better. That's right, man. Gobble that bacon up is good for you. Let me see if the voice, our good voice reader, is awake. Here we go. Let's drop in the link in here. Hopefully he's not babbling along in this other room. Nope. I was just teasing Mike, adding a bit of levity to the conversation. No, that's absolutely correct. Bacon does make everything. Have you heard put some bacon on it? Anything wrong? Put some bacon on it. My phone's not working. Put some bacon on it. I feel like you couldn't really achieve everything Batman did and hang on to grief. No, but you can. Okay, that kind of grief you can make into a driving factor. It can be the inciting incident of your life, right? It's like because this person died. I look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, his entire goal was to see how much money he could make. And his wife was like a philanthropist. And that's part of the reason they divorced, she was like, she wanted to give money away to all these charities and stuff. And he's like, no, I want to see how much I can collect. And then when she died, that was like his inciting incident after decades and decades and decades of just making money. After his wife died, he's like, oh, I should have listened to her. And so that's when he just started giving away billions of dollars. And in the memory of his ex-wife, because they had divorced over this, I think it was over this topic. Yeah. So anyways. The Zealots Den says, visit us in the Zealots Den, folks. We are the Zealots here, sir. Bacon appetizer with my bacon main dish on the side order of bacon. Man, I don't have any bacon in the house. I need to go to Costco. Bacon is up. It used to be $12.99 for the 4-pack at Costco. Last time I was there, which is a couple days ago, it was $17.99. What the heck, man? What the heck? Which is still cheaper than the store where it's $6 a pack. So that'll be 24. Oh, what was the depression joke? I missed it. Oh, the depression power. No, I thought it was great. It's true. Well, thank you, Bundedman. Yes, he did that. Everything is up. Amen. All right. Let us begin. I've given Edwin enough time to not get here in time. Let us begin. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. That is hilarious. Sorry, you triggered me again. Sorry. Again, so the house of Jacob and the children of Israel are the same people. But he's delineating here because who's there? This is almost prognosticating what's about to happen after Moses is up in the mountain for 40 days. The people who are there, they are the house of Jacob, and there are the children of Israel. They're all the same. They're all the Hebrews, right? But the house of Jacob are the rebellious and the scallywags. And the children of Israel are those who love God. It's the interesting part. Jacob is prior to God. Israel is the name God gave Jacob when he ideally reformed him. And I've told you guys, but there's a couple new people here. Often and nearly ubiquitously in the Bible, in the Old Testament, God, when he's talking to the Hebrews, when they're being bad or they're not following his word and his will, he calls them the house of Jacob. When they're being good and obedient to him, he calls them the children of Israel. And right here, case in point, they're all there. He's talking to the entirety of the Hebrew armies, he calls them. And he says, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. I think that's very funny. Mike, next time you talk about death and grief, I would like to hear your thoughts regarding Luke 9:59-6. Okay, we don't have time to deviate today, or we only got 20 minutes left. But good on you. Let me know next time. And the next exciting episode of Grief with Mike. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep all my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. See that? Just to put a fine point on what I just said, if you obey my voice and keep my covenant, these are the words I shall speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and I laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people were answered together and said, all that the Lord had spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. So the Lord wouldn't come down until they washed their clothes. Keep that in mind. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. This is very interesting. They have not yet built the Ark of the Covenant. And the Ark of the Covenant, the presence of the Lord is supposed to dwell in the Ark. But here, the Ark, the entire mountain is the dwelling place of the Lord. And as you're not supposed to touch the ark, you're not supposed to touch the mountain. What does that say about when the Lord dwells within us? I mean, we're not supposed to not touch each other, right? I don't know. It was just curious to me. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when that voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Lord, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And the Lord said unto him, sorry, I was rereading. Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down unto the people and spake to them. And you guys already saw, right, the blackened top of Mount Sinai in Arabia. This Mount Sinai burnt top explained. I mean, they know where it is. It's not exactly a secret. And the top of the mountain is still burned, right? And it's not volcanic. It's not a volcanic mountain. Volcanic mountain. It's just blackened. The top of the mountain is blackened. We have an explanation for it because we believe the Bible, but and these aren't, nobody's making this up. This is the real Mount Sinai. And hey, look what's close to it. Wow, that's the rock of Mount Horeb is close to the Mount Sinai. That's so weird. And then you have the pillars that were built and the carvings that of the here, let me see. Mount Sinai carvings. Let's see. Mount Sinai in Arabia carvings. See some of the carvings found around Mount Sinai. Oh, look, there's cattle. There's cattle. There's trying to find the there's a, what is that? A golden calf? Maybe? Carvings of the golden calf. And around here somewhere, I want to find it. You can find the symbol of the 10 Commandments too. Is that on this one? Let me see. Carvings, 10 Commandments. Is it on this one? Let me see this file. No. No, it's not on this one. Darn it, where is it? Stone carvings. Well, this is obviously much later because there's a cross on it. That's a different one. Rock inscription with Bedouin. Mount Sinai. So, is it on here? It's like tablets, and then they're divided into 10. Sorry. This is why I should look this stuff up beforehand, so I'm not like wasting all your guys' time looking for this stuff that I've seen before. Yeah, and by the way, after this was all discovered, Saudi Arabia made it. They made it so you're not allowed to go there. Which, typical. That's crazy looking. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Kirby? Chucky with everybody as good as the first time I watched. Perhaps even what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You guys are just having a conversation in the chat without me. Yeah, okay. I can't find the carvings of the 10 Commandments for some reason. But yeah, these carvings of the calves and the bulls and whatnot. Actually, maybe that's it underneath. Can't quite make it out. South Sinai carvings, 10 Commandments. You don't believe where this ancient 10 Commandments carving was found. Huh. Let's find out. Let's find out. That's the thing. Again, archaeology. Archaeology is constantly proving the Bible to be true. Located west of Los Anunos, New Mexico, at the bottom was called the Hidden Mountain. 80-ton boulder, which is still being called the Mystery Stone. Phoenician inscription or mystery rocks to contain the Ten Commandments, written in Paleo Hebrew. This form of writing was used for approximately 1,000 years, fell into disuse around 500 BC. La 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 la. Single Paleo Hebrew. I am the Lord thy God, brought you out of the land. That shall know. So it's almost certainly fake because it makes use of modern Hebrew punctuation. Well, then who cares if it's fake? I don't want to hear about fake stuff. I don't want to hear about fake stuff. I want to hear about real stuff. Yeah, I wonder if you can see it anywhere. Searching. No. But you know what they also have? Sinai carving. No. Mount Sinai. Cattle. Let me just type in cattle and see what happens. Okay, this is the... They're saying that's the altar, but those are awfully big stones. Which isn't to say it couldn't be. Oh, let's see. These were... Okay, overview. Key sites. Arlene, you got to go. I'm going to see if I can find the Ten Commandments on streaming and watch it tonight. I love that movie. Oh, that's a good movie. Yeah. Oh, shoot. There's a poster. All right. You know what? Forget it. This is too much. Me looking around for things. And like wearing this sweater now that I have the heater on is getting a bit out of hand. So sorry about that nip slip there. Oh man, I think maybe my wife turned the heater on even higher than I had it set. No. So anyways, I guess that's about it for today. I do have a meeting at 1, so I need to get stuff together. That's why I tried to start this early, even though I didn't really. So I've heard Israel was told to arrange their camps in the shape of a cross. It might have been a shape that would have recognized even then. Okay, real quick on that. Yes, because, and this is I think in Numbers, the tabernacle was a specific shape, like the area of the Levitical tabernacle, whatever the thing. It was like a specific shape, right? And the houses named, I could probably find it. How Israel camped in the wilderness diagram. The Bible says, or the scripture says that the Lord commanded them that they camp certain tribes camp to the east, right? Directly to the east, not northeast, not southeast. You had to camp to the east. Some had to camp to the west, some had to camp to the north, and some had to camp to the south. So you had to create a you couldn't just encircle the whole camp, right? It'd be something along these lines. Here. Right? Here's the deal though. If you do the math, I don't know who did this one because it's if you look at it from like top down, this makes it look a little less cross-like because of the angle, but the west would have been, I'm assuming this is the right one because yeah, Benjamin, Manasseh, and Ephraim I think are the smallest tribes. The west would have been the shortest ones. Gad, Simeon, Reuben, Dan, Asher, Naphtali would be roughly equivalent, and then Judah, Issachar, and Zebulon would be the biggest. And so it would looking directly top down on it, it makes a cross. And now imagine at night when all of those are lit up with campfires, right? It'd be quite a sight to see for 40 years in the desert. That's a cross. That's totally a cross. I know. It's just one of those things that's like sort of hidden in plain sight in the scriptures. Like, you mean if I actually show what this looked like at the time, you'll have noticed that's totally a cross. All right, well, I guess that's where we should leave it. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Day after that, not New Year's, Christmas Eve. And God looked down and remembers why he's not destroying them. That's a fair point. Yeah, from God's perspective, right? There it is. All right, stop sharing. Thank you all for being here. God bless us, everyone. Don't let your grief define you. Trump was right. Those two things have nothing to do with it. Unless you're on the left, then me saying Trump was right will cause your grief. Don't let that define you either. God bless us all. We'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations.
Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!